If you're going to make a pick and a statement and a prediction like I'm about to make, you know what I need? I need the Dave Matthews Band, especially tonight. They got a performance. Daddy want, daddy need, daddy got to have it. Give me the sledgehammer on him Friday. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. This version of the Cleveland Browns in 2024 should not be laying 7 or 6.5 points. Now, the money line's just a little sprinkle here. I know what everybody's going to say, and I know what you're thinking, Brad. It's the Giants, but their offense did show some signs of life. Granted, it was against the Washington Commanders, but Neighbors is a true number one option now. We know that. 129 yards. And other than Saquon Barkley, like Daniel Jones is bad. But let's look at his weapons other than Saquon. Now, he's got Malik Neighbors, who legitimately could win Rookie of the Year. And Deshaun Watson, right? Last week, they get a dub. You look at the box score, it looks all right. He played all right until you look at, they only 5.5 yards per attempt. That was his average. I know they're getting a little bit healthier on the offensive line. Jack Conklin and Jedrick Willis should both be back for this game. But right now, man, with a beat-up offensive line, I think the Giants might get home, might make life a living hell for Deshaun Watson. They have the second highest team pass rush win rate right now in the NFL through 2 weeks. Granted, sample size, but it's a 50% pass rush win rate. And right now, I'm just not there with the Browns offense. James Hudson, 65th out of 71 qualified tackles, according to PFF. They really miss Nick Chubb. Amari Cooper, we talked about this. I was looking to maybe play some of his unders. I'm going to stay away from that. But right now, I think Deshaun's maybe one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, man. 31st right now in passing success rate, ahead of only Bo Nix. So I think if the Giants are able to keep Daniel Jones clean, he's able to find, Malik Neighbors a couple times. The Giants are live in this game. And obviously, it's always scary going against Myles Garrett, second highest pass rushing grade right now. Could win Defensive Player of the Year every year. But I like the matchup with Andrew Thomas, who's the league's top-graded pass protector. So that might neutralize that pass rush a little bit. So give me the Giants with the points, a little sprinkle on the money line. This is a fade of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, really a fade of Deshaun Watson, who has been craptastic at best. A little bit of drama off the field that may be impacting his performance on it. By the way, Cleveland is laying that 6.5. That's why Horvat's on the G-Men at plus 6.5. The over-under, one of 5 totals this week under 40 points, sitting at 39.5 right now at BetMGM. I'm actually going to go with a brownie and a guy I think is going to blast one into the end zone. Vroom, vroom, vroom. You heard on the rejoin. Jerome Ford, the Mustang in this backfield, I think is going to penetrate the invisible pool at a plus 130 juice. Yeah, I'm working the shoulders because I got seduced by that juice indeed when I saw this prop available at BetMGM. Ford's only got a couple of red zone touches this season, and I realize he's seeing just around 54.9% of the opportunity share, probably getting a lot of Deonta Foreman as well, but impressive 5.1 yards per touch. It's number 21 among qualifying running backs in the NFL, and the Browns' offensive line is starting to get healthy. Even though they've been missing a couple of key guys, they're still number 5 in run blocking efficiency to begin the season, according to Pro Football Focus. And what do the Giants royally suck at? Defending. I know Daniel Jones is a punchline, but they're not tackling. They're not wrapping up. Number 26 in rush EPAD. They're going to 6.44 yards per touch to the running back position. They've allowed only 1 rushing touchdown so far, but look at Rachel Dory, our friends at Bet Analytics. Bet Analytics gives Ford a 44.87% chance of splashing 6, and indeed, I believe he does that. All right, with that game put to bed, let's go on to a much more attractive potential shootout. Next game!
The Philadelphia Eagles, the New Orleans Saints.
All right, Horvat, you're going to stay with a standard side in this matchup down there on Bourbon Street. Who are we going to raise a Sazerac to?
Yeah, this is why everybody's got to check out the podcast and listen to the show 7 to 11 p.m. every single night, because I do like some Chris Olave props, but I also like the side just because right now it looks really good for the Saints. They've hung 40 points in both matchups, week 1 and week 2. Let's look at the competition. It was the Carolina Panthers, an XFL team, and it was the Dallas Cowboys, who I faded coming into this season, and I'm not high on. I think they were exposed last year in the playoffs, even at home against Green Bay, and again week 2. And the Eagles beat Green Bay in South America on a slip and slide. Then they blow a lead to a team that's favored to win their division in Atlanta in the fourth quarter, playing prevent coverage, just giving up wide open targets to Kirk Cousins for whatever reason. But now we're catching 3 points here with a team that I think is going to make a run to a Super Bowl. I did bet Jalen Hurts to win MVP as well. Don't love the matchup right now. I think the Eagles are going to be a much better and different defense week 7, week 8, maybe with Vic Fangio and some of these young corners. Right now, Cooper DeJean can't even get on the field. They're 26 in EPA per dropback, and that's scary going against the Saints offense. But also, the Saints haven't been pushed. They've scored the majority of these points in the first half of these games and then kind of just taking their foot off the gas a little bit in the second half. I love what Kubiak's doing, though, with Derek Carr. 83% of his dropbacks. They're using play action on 50% of those. They're using motion on 83% of the dropbacks. They're using all the cheat codes right now, but I'm going to take the points here with Philadelphia +3. I can't see them moving to 1 and 2 this season. So give me the Eagles here. This is a bet only for the sickos. This is Sicko Nation hashtag. So this is more a fade of Tampa Bay as a 6.5-point favorite. I believe in letdown spots every once in a while in the National Football League, usually just mostly in college football. But Tampa just won is double-digit touchdown dogs against Detroit on the road, a game that I didn't think they had any chance to actually pull out the win. I thought they could cover. I didn't think they were going to get the win, which is why I teased the Lions down. But Tampa's beat up, man. They're going to be without already the right tackle in this game. They're beat up on the back end. A lot of injuries in that secondary, but the most important injury is up front. And I know Vita Vea returned to practice, but he's doubtful in this matchup. I don't think he's going to be able to play against Denver. Look, Denver's bad, but you just said it. This is a low total. And if the total's around 40.5, 39.5, and we're catching 6.5, even with these ugly dogs, week 3, the overreaction is Denver's terrible. And they probably are. But I mean, if Sean Payton can't have the right game plan to at least hang within the 6.5, they got huge problems. I'd like Denver actually to cover. And then, like, this might bore you, but Mike Evans is +115 to score an anytime touchdown, and I like that matchup. So I had to sprinkle that as well. Mike Evans, first ballot Hall of Famer, will get in the end zone, +115. But Denver's going to cover this one, I hope at least, 6.5. That's my number.
Good call there on my cousin, Mike Evans. Again, got all the length and athleticism over generations of the Evans family, and a guy that's always good in the touchdown market, seemingly, especially at plus money. I think that's definitely worth the investment there, given all of the injuries in that secondary. No Antoine Winfield. They're down a starting DB as well. Another one, and you're right about Vita Vea, man. That's a colossal loss. That man in the middle, he is a man-eater. Which could spell good news for my selection. Such good news that Daddy want, Daddy need, Daddy gotta have it. Give me the Gabriel, baby. Sledgehammer at home, fools, on this Friday with Javonte Williams, but not on the ground. I'm going to go with the guy that I call Juggernaut Javonte. Through the air, this is an unbelievable price. I took the over in the alt market on 3.5 receptions at +155. Yeah, roll the shoulders yet again because we got seduced by that juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. And it's certainly the case. I love Javonte in this prop market. You look at Tampa Bay, middle of the pack, and pass EPA defense, number 16 in the NFL through 2 weeks, but they have allowed 19 receptions, 19 just to the running back position. Austin Eckler, Mandatory Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, each one of them had at least 4 receptions against his Buccaneers defense. I look at Javonte Williams. Yeah, I only caught 1 ball in week 1, but he had 5 receptions, mi amigos. Last week, he's averaging 17.5 routes run per game. That's the 8th most in the NFL. In fact, he's trotting out on a route on 45.5% of his snaps played, and he has caught 85.7% of Bo Nix's passes thrown his general direction. So you pull it all together. Great matchup. The flat, the Buccaneers typically don't defend it. Javonte Williams, a fixture in that short field pass game with a quarterback that loves to throw quick strikes to try to get in a rhythm. And if they get any kind of deficit in this game, that only fuels the fire even more on this bet potentially cashing.